Hi, welcome to our On Demand. Our lesson title today is Franz Joseph Haydn. Our objectives: you will listen to and respond to Haydn's Surprise Symphony, become familiar with Haydn's career and his compositions and his international fame as a composer, and understand why Haydn composed the Farewell Symphony. Introduction: a musical period that followed the Baroque era and came before the Romantic era. And this is from our last class. Was it A, modern, B, classical, C, 20th century, or D, medieval? I hope you picked B, classical. The Surprise Symphony, number 94, by Franz Joseph Haydn. The surprise in Franz Joseph Haydn's Surprise Symphony takes place in the slow second movement. There's a sudden loud chord, which Haydn supposedly said will make the women jump. Actually, it probably made many people jump back in the 1790s when Haydn wrote this work. Concerts then were much longer than concerts today, and it was not unusual for people to fall asleep. Haydn, a composer with a sense of humor, wanted to wake them up. The symphony's first movement begins with a slow introduction, but then the pace picks up, with a theme played by the violins. The second movement also begins slowly and goes into variations of the children's song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Then in the 16th bar of this movement, strings, winds, horns, trumpets, and timpani suddenly blast Haydn's little joke on the sleeping members of the audience. The third movement is a folk dance, while the last movement repeats the earlier themes. Let's listen to this. You're going to hear bum 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 bum, bam. And that is the surprise. So let me go ahead and get that for you. It's going to start to play in a second, and you'll hear it. It's going to open up here. I'm going to put this in Brain Honey. Right there. Right there. You can hear him do the surprise. And I'll put that in Brain Honey so you can listen to it again. And that's what made everybody jump. It woke them up. Franz Joseph Haydn was born March 31st, 1736, and died May 31st, 1809. Franz Joseph Haydn was the most famous composer of his time. He helped develop new musical forms like the string quartet and the symphony. In fact, even though he didn't invent it, Haydn is known as the father of the symphony. Haydn was born in the tiny Austrian town of Rohra, where his father made huge wooden carts and wagon wheels. His mother was a cook, and when he was 8, Joseph, he didn't go by Franz, went to Vienna to sing in the choir at St. Stephen's Cathedral and to attend the choir school. His younger brother Michael joined him a short time later. Joseph could never resist playing a joke, which got him in trouble at school. Since Michael Haydn was much better behaved than his brother, everyone thought that he would be the more successful musician. Wrong. At first, Haydn struggled to earn a living as a composer. Then he got a job with a rich, powerful family named Esterhazy. It was Haydn's job to write music for the Esterhazy princes and to conduct their orchestra. Haydn composed symphonies, operas, string quartets, and all kinds of other music for performance at the Esterhazy court. Haydn was also a good businessman. Music publishing made him and his music famous all over Europe. After he retired from working for the Esterhazy family, Haydn made 2 very successful trips to England, where audiences at concerts of his music treated him like a superstar. Every year when the weather turned nice, Prince Esterhazy, Franz Joseph Haydn's employer, moved his entire household to his summer palace. When it turned cold again, everyone moved back to the main palace in the city. But one fall it stayed warm for a very long time, and the prince didn't budge. The musicians in his orchestra wanted to go home, and Haydn found a musical way to tell the prince it was time to go. The Farewell Symphony. As each musician finished his part in the last movement of the work, and some played for a very short time, he snuffed out the candle, lighting his music, and left the stage. First went the horn and oboe, then the bassoon, the double bass, and so on. By the end of the performance, there were only 2 violinists left. Prince Nicholas took the hint because everyone packed up and left the estate the next day. So he actually helped him to go ahead and move back home. There's 2 movie clips for you also, along with the Haydn Surprise Symphony. Haydn, conductor and composer. If you watch that, please think about how many symphonies Haydn composed. Was it over 100, true or false? And the second question with that quiz, true or false, Prince Esterhazy did not like Haydn's music. True or false? Honors and Surprises is the second clip. Haydn and Mozart never met. True or false? And these are 2, you don't have to send me the answers to these, just think about them as you watch those 2 movie clips. Actually, they're actually it's not 2 movie clips, it's one big movie. If we were in class, I would have the little snippets. So that's something to think about as you watch the entire movie clip. A minuet is an elegant dance in 3/4 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right, left, right, left, right, left. Those would be your feet. So a minuet is a dance in 3/4 time. That is, each measure has 3 beats. It was very popular in the 18th century, especially in France. Louis XIV, also known as the Sun King, and the members of his court loved to dance the minuet. After a while, minuets weren't just for dancing anymore. Haydn and many other composers in his day used this dance form as a 3rd movement or section of a 4-movement piece. Thus, the 3rd movement of the Farewell Symphony is a minuet. If we were in class, we would do the word search. If you want to do that, it's fine. You do not have to turn that in. Breakout. We would also do this in class. Who was known as the father of the symphony? A minuet is an elegant blank in 3/4 time. It was Haydn's job to write music for the blank princes. And why was Haydn's Surprise Symphony called Surprise Symphony? The answer to number 1 is B, Haydn. To number 2 is D, is a dance, a minuet. Number 3, the Esterhazy Princes. And it was called the Surprise Symphony because in the 16th measure, Haydn had all the instruments play a loud chord, bam, to wake everybody up. Our exit ticket would be, what was the message in Haydn's Farewell Symphony? And normally you would send me that in a note. Of course, you don't have to do that right now. It was to tell Prince Esterhazy it was time to move back to the city. Your assignment is to watch the movie attached in Brain Honey. Those 2 snippets that I talked about, those 2 little clips, are part of that entire movie. You don't have to send me those answers. You do, however, have to take the Haydn assessment quiz. That's due May 25th. You still have to take the quiz even if you cannot watch the movie. And I've also attached Haydn's Surprise Symphony, just 6 minutes of it, in Brain Honey, so you can actually listen to that loud chord in the 16th measure. And that's all for now. Thank you. We will see you next Monday, hopefully. Take care and stay warm.